Hey friends, Mulberry Cultural Center here with another Artist Spotlight. Today we're going to be learning about artist Jackson Pollock, who is an American painter and a major figure in the abstract expressionism movement. Pollock was born on January 28, 1912, in Cody, Wyoming. He was the youngest of 5 brothers and grew up in Arizona and California. By 1928, being a rebellious teen, he had already been expelled from 2 different high schools. In 1930, he decided to follow his older brother Charles to New York to study under Thomas Hart Benton at the Art Student League in New York. Benton's American subject matter influenced Pollock's work, but his use of paint and his fierce independence would have lasting impressions on Pollock and his future artwork. Pollock was described as a very reclusive person. He had a volatile personality, and he struggled most of his life with alcoholism. His friends and family soon realized he did have a problem with alcohol, and you can see in this letter from Thomas Hart Benton in October of 1938, he tells him to cut out that monkey business and get back to work. Pollock made attempts to fight his addiction and underwent therapy between the years of 1938 and 1941. His therapist pushed him to explore his art in hopes that it would help him cope with his addiction. Recently, it has been hypothesized that Pollock may have had a bipolar disorder. In 1943, Pollock was working as a maintenance man at the Museum of Non-Objective Painting, the forerunner to the Guggenheim Museum. After meeting Peggy Guggenheim, he was commissioned to create a mural for her new Manhattan townhouse. Once he created the mural, Peggy put Pollock on contract so he could devote all of his time to painting. That same year, Pollock had his first solo exhibition at the Guggenheim Museum. Fun fact about the Guggenheim Museum, it was designed by the famous American architect Frank Lloyd Wright, who's very well known in our area. The first of Pollock's paintings to be acquired by a museum was acquired by the Museum of Modern Art in 1944. She-Wolf sold for $650. In October of 1945, Pollock married fellow artist Lee Krasner. By the mid-1940s, Pollock was completely painting in an abstract manner. Pollock's drip-style painting was a mixture of controllable and uncontrollable factors. Flinging, dripping, pouring, and spattering, he would move energetically around the canvas, almost as if dancing, and he would not stop until he saw what he wanted to see. Pollock's radical methods and growing reputation quickly caught the attention of the mass media. In August of 1949, Life magazine ran a feature article asking the question, Jackson Pollock, is he the greatest living painter in the United States? During this time, he was in high demand from collectors for new artwork. In response to all of this pressure, his alcoholism deepened. In 1951, Pollock began painting almost exclusively in black enamel on unsized canvas. As these didn't sell as well, in 1952 he returned to his colorful artwork. Pollock was included in many group exhibitions worldwide, but he never traveled outside of the U.S. In 1955, Pollock painted Scent and Search, which would be his last 2 paintings. After a sleepless night of intense binge drinking, followed by another full day of binge drinking, Pollock drove his 1950 green Oldsmobile convertible off the road near his home in Springs, New York. In the car with Pollock were 2 passengers, his mistress, Ruth Kligman, and her friend Edith Metzger. As the car flipped end over end, Edith Metzger and Pollock were both killed. Ruth Kligman was the only survivor. While the details of exactly what happened on August 11, 1956, widely vary from source to source, what we do know is the world lost an extremely talented, yet volatile artist. Pollock will forever be revered as one of the best artists of all time. Today he is known as a leader in the most important 20th century American art movements. The risks he took and his creative approach led future artists to create with passion and to disregard boundaries. Like many other famous figures, the issues Jackson Pollock suffered from in his personal life and ultimately his death added to his superstar status. After Pollock's untimely death, his wife, Lee Krasner, managed his estate and ensured his reputation remained strong despite changing art trends until her death in 1984. They are buried alongside one another in Green River Cemetery in Springs, New York, with a large boulder marking his grave and a smaller boulder marking hers. I hope you enjoyed this artist spotlight. We miss y'all. Stay safe.